So today we're going to do something really interesting and exciting. We're going to analyze the trader that we're copying the trades from on BitGet. And with that, of course, I'm the most open-minded investor / NFT artist on YouTube
with a diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, cookie-accepting, cat-free, technical and specialized tutorials and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trades. And last, as a believer of Jesus Christ and a fan of Gary, and an extremely well-educated and multilingual Korean opera with hair naturally curly than the average Asian male and highly coveted by many moms and daughters, also known as Handel Kim.
And so welcome, because yesterday I did upload a video talking about how you can make money while you sleep using BitGet's copy trading strategy. Now, I have had the privilege to look further into this platform, and I must make some corrections on the video that I made, and this is why you need to stay tuned. When I did actually invest the money towards the end, I was like putting in like 600 bucks into the actual trade sizes there, of course. And that is a mistake, guys. The account size in itself, okay? And let's have a look. Where did I actually do that? Oh, here we go. So yesterday I was actually putting a follow at $600 USDT, which is quite crazy. If you have a $600 account, I think you should really be setting up around like $10, maybe to $20. I'll tell you why that's the case. Because you need enough margin to trade. Per trade that these guys are opening, that's the amount that you sort of need. So how do we know how much they're trading? And we're gonna actually briefly talk further about what actually makes a good trader as well. And lastly, we're gonna talk about some performance, and of course, we're gonna analyze how they've done in their trades and some of my comments on the trades that they're making. Cool. So let's have a look at our copy trade right now. All right, so and a lot of things have made sense since what I've seen yesterday, right? It's just making sense at the moment. So if we look at our trader, okay, we look at this guy here, because I've actually ended up following this guy called Origin, because the guy that I actually traded with yesterday, the guy that I copied, actually wasn't actually making any trades. So I'm just like, you know what, stuff that. I'm gonna go with somebody who's actually actively trading because I need some information. Now this guy is full. Obviously put a notification in so that you can be notified when Origin becomes available, okay? I also heard from BitGet's team that Origin is one of the longest trading sort of traders on the platform as well. So there is a bit more confidence in that sense too. So what we're looking at is we got to go to orders right now. So let me talk about the size for a bit. So copy trade 13 within one day, 16. So these are all the trades that were open within a day. Now, if you think about it, these are what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. At $10 each, that's $140 margin that you're using up. I would suggest if you double that, that's 280 bucks. On a $600 account, that's like using up half. Like you need that. And look at the P&Ls, active P&Ls on that. The drawdown is up to like 500%, okay? So you need to actually take that into account. If the drawdown hits the bottom of your account, like you're gonna get liquidated. So you don't want that, because these guys obviously have a particular strategy. And a lot of day traders do use this strategy. They will dollar cost average until the sun comes up. They'll stay awake until dollar cost averaging works, right? So if you think about it, if you got $10 positions in all of them, 500% loss is $50 loss that you're running. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades open on the same day, right? 7 trades on 500% loss at $50 loss each, that's $350. Say that's already down. If you had $20 trades, yeah, that's when you're getting really risky. $20 trades down $700, then you got a $600 account, you would have been liquidated. So $10 trade is what we should do. So that section where I put in $600, if your account size is $600, you probably should just put in $10 and you'll be getting a notification. Now, every time this guy activates a trade, I get a notification. And I'm sorry, the notification is in Korean for some silly reason, but it just says Ethereum USDT bought in at 28.2404 and the profit was $7.38, okay? These are all position closing notifications. You get more notifications on your phone actually. I think the computer notification you only get seen like only when they close, but you can see when they open up as well. And as you can see, their trades that they made in ETH USDT in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades have all been a profitable trade. $3, $5, $10, $4, $7. I think that's pretty good if you're betting $10 at a time with like $600 account, right? That's pretty good. I think that's almost already like $30 odd already that they've been able to lock in, which is great, So what happened was I looked at his account, like profile, and it started to make a lot more sense, right? There you go, $32 profit there. It started to make a lot of sense. So every day he tries to seek to lock in 140% on his trades, right? Obviously, that's not meaning that you're gonna 1.5x your account every freaking day, but that's out of the positions that he has. He wants to, additionally, collectively, create about 140% gains. And so over time, he's obviously trading with smaller sizes so that he can continue to dollar cost average, of course, right? Which is a sound strategy. So just watching him trade over the last 24 hours gave me more assurance that, hey, this guy actually kind of knows what he's doing. In the last 3 weeks, as you can see, his account size is growing steadily, and it's more of a linear progression than a compound one, because what I can see he's doing is that I think he's taking an increment. So maybe once he hits 20K, then his lot sizes, his margin sizes may actually increase. So I think his margin sizes are only small at the moment. He's trading predominantly Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then the other half being Ethereum. And no, he tries not to make a losing trade at all, which is really encouraging to see. In the last 7 days, in the last 3 weeks, his trading volume is staying nice and high, which is really good to see. So that's his account now. All right. So last 3 weeks, ROI 7.08%, and that totally depends also on like all the active positions that are pressing down on its account as well. Okay. So in the last 3 weeks, he's got trades that that's done, but obviously there are still active trades that he needs to dollar cost average out of as well, and he will use trade management systems to be able to do that. So let's now then dig into the trades that he actually made today. And before I do that, I just want to have a quick shout out to self-discipline. I had a look at this account as well, and I thought this account was pretty good too. So if you want to check out his account, make sure you do your own research and you apply the metrics that you'd like to apply to identify whether following this trader would be good for you or not. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to kill that Discord. And of course, the best way that you can sort of follow someone that's already fully followed, you can just click a slot reminder and a notification will come up, hopefully when you're awake. So that when a notification comes in, you can take action straight away and give yourself a quick follow too. Okay, so these things move quickly, guys, because follow trade is very, very popular. You find a good trader that's going to do all these trades for you, well, then you're pretty much set, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting in there. So let's actually go to my trades that was actually executed. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm in the copy trade right now. So these are all my active trades right now. Okay, they're running a loss about 14 to 84%. Obviously, these are all different levels. BTC USDT. It's already there, but I'm just going to sort by BTC USDT. I think we were able to successfully make profit on all the Ethereum positions here. Okay, so here we are. Okay, 15-minute chart, interesting. Okay, so BTC USDT, here we are, guys. I understand that they're all running a loss. I'm just going to zoom out of that a little bit more so that y'all can see the numbers here. So what I've done on the left-hand side of the screen here is that I've actually gone ahead and drawn a line across every time this person has made a trade. They're colored in red because they have all been short position. Now, I can identify when he's entered the position, so probably either here, here, or maybe here on that line there. I think he would have made a trade here, and then he's done it, I think, once here, and then maybe another time here. Another time here, another short position here, another short position here, here, and definitely here. I can see why he's done that there. So there's actually 2 trades on that thicker line there. So that's 1, 2 trades, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what he's done here. Now, he could have exited out of some of these positions, making small profits, although the transaction fee could have been reasonably high, so he's actually staying in the market for now. So that last position there, because of the price action right now, it's sitting at negative 20%, okay? Negative 20% for now. That doesn't mean it's all over yet. What is really interesting about his trades is the following. Okay, so I'm on a 15-minute chart. I think he's got either the 5-minute or the 15-minute chart, of course. The entry point here has been an interesting one. Now, he didn't actually stop loss out of it. That's really interesting to see. I think what he observed here was this too. So these resistances here were actually pretty strong on the 15-minute chart. So he would have thought, okay, that's not going to make it. He saw this massive tail and then bang. He speculated that the price action would drop. And at that point in time, the RSI wasn't particularly overbought, but it was definitely not oversold. So I think that's the logic behind that there. And as the price increased, he's obviously dollar cost averaging in. Maybe the next resistance was at this level here. So he gets in a position right over here. Okay, next position I actually particularly like this position, is this position right here, where they have identified a massive poke up, which is an overbought region of the RSI. So he's expecting and speculating the price action will drive down. Now, the reason why I don't mind him holding onto this position right now, I don't mind that at all, is because I've identified something here. And I think he identifies this as well. And maybe based on that, he could have entered into another trade, but he hasn't. Maybe there's some wisdom in that too, okay? So I'm gonna just get rid of this. What I've identified is a bearish divergence right here, or for a short position, of course. So these 2 peaks here, right? This one and this one, line up with this one and this one. As the price action rises, but the RSI, the oscillator, falls, that's called a bearish divergence. So from here, it's, arguably it can fall down from here. And what we also see is that the price action actually struggled to poke above this line of this 200 MA line right here. So it poked above, it stabbed it, but it couldn't make it at all. So these kind of positions I actually don't mind. If the price action falls about here, I'd say around about here even, about here or so, then I reckon we'll be breaking even. We will be breaking even. And I think the price action will actually go a bit lower than that. Here's why. So if we zoom right out of the graph right now, here, let's actually increase the size of this. This is a 4-hour chart, okay? This is a 4-hour chart. Let's actually get a bit further. Let's go to the 1-day chart. This is the 1-day chart, guys. Okay, so the 1-day chart actually shows a massive line of support since basically 2020. And so I think he's looking at the big picture, and I think he's at least expecting a test into that zone before it goes up. Now, when I did see all these short positions come up in my notifications, I felt a little bit like, crappy, because what I did do was I did buy into some, not to mention, just at the end of the day, if that just wicks out, you know, it's a madly profitable trade already. But this kind of freaked me out a little bit because yesterday I made some altcoin positions. I bought into some altcoins, namely BNB yesterday, because that's just one of the coins I thought would do okay. And he's putting all these short positions, so it's kind of making me a bit nervous, I guess. But we did cover Bitcoin not too long ago, saying that there is this interesting line of support. So that's obviously a long-term support, but in a near term, we've been hanging out in. What we were able to see was a support line, like a primary support line that was here. And we thought almost that it was going to touch there and then just basically get to the moon like so. But it saw resistance away from the 200 MA on the 4-hour chart and then actually cracked below. And that's an interesting one because there is this secondary support here as well. So as you can see, we've actually hit that secondary support, okay? So arguably, we may be experiencing a bounce from here. We did have that longer term trend line, but to find consistency in that could actually be rather difficult as well. So I think this is the secondary bounce here that we're looking at right now. And the RSI level is actually quite encouraging. So the RSI is actually beginning to rise. Arguably, we have a bullish divergence with a 12-hour chart RSI as well. So I think a lot of these analyses do point towards a bearish momentum do point towards a bullish momentum. Obviously, this guy obviously has a much more shorter time frame as well. So I think having analyzed his trade, I think it's pretty good. Let's actually zoom back into the situation at hand though, okay? So in this situation here, if the trader is watching, I mean, what I would just sort of point out is maybe let's work with potentially some Fibonacci levels. So if we look at Fibonacci levels here, from the top to bottom, we draw that out. That's 0.5, 0.6. I think Fibonacci levels could have been better in terms of catching, I guess, a dip in the market, if you like. So a dip in the market for a short position, short-term outlook would be that. I mean, we've had this massive fall here. It is right that in the short-term level, we do look from this point onwards in the graph to actually seek to, you know, activate short positions. So he's done the right thing. But to actually activate positions on that based on some Fibonacci levels would be good because we've had such a big dip. So based on that, you know, the 382 level would have been good. And that would have then activated a much better activation on the price, and then 0.5 would have been good, and also 0.618, and that's very stock standard trading methodology that you would get from Fibonacci levels. And I think those would have been better positions to be in right now, and even the price action that there was in the past, very briefly in the past of course, where we could have actually been a lot more profitable without having to make so many of these trades. It was really encouraging because the price action was actually as low as this, and that would have been a pretty strong profit there already as it is. But I don't want to lay too hard on him with this one. I think he's done really well, because if the price action just dips simply below or to the level at which the initial price, you know, initial activation of the orders came in, then we will be looking at, you know, more than 100% in gains of the size of trades that we've made already. So having said that, I think we could be looking at an exit point if the price action were to fall back down again, to actually consider an exit point for our trader here. Obviously, I'm trading you on, I trust you, and I put faith in you, and that's why I've obviously decided to trade with you. Please keep up with the good work that you're doing. Thank you so much for being a good trader, of course. And if you guys are considering to actually do some copy trading yourself, make sure you go check out the link in the description below. Go to BitGet and you can actually do some copy trading. There is extensive tutorials available on my channel. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can stay updated with this. And I'm just going to be celebrating because I have made, in the last 24 hours, I made $32 with bloody $600, which I think is pretty good. We just have to get out of this mess, and I think we will. And it's really, really exciting to see another person trade. I think I can learn a lot from this. I think you can learn a lot from this. So thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.